Good evening, everybody. How's the day? I believe it was splendid. Wow, there's been a lot of conversations for a while on the attitude of men to women, or the attitude of husbands to wives. And I've been thinking that the men we have in our society were once boys some years down the road, and they actually had parents that raised them. I see that men are actually the report cards of the way they were raised when they were boys. Some of us parents, we have sons, and students, I think you're going to have your report card when you become men. How do you raise your boys? So, what's your reaction to your boys or your sons when they throw tantrums? What's your reaction to your boys when maybe they bully another student in school? Do you feel like it doesn't matter, they're just children? What's your reaction to your sons when probably they harass their sisters at home? Do you feel like, oh, he's the man of the house, he's the boy in the house? Or when they fail to do domestic chores or just sit around and refuse to lift up a finger to help in the house, what do you say? Or like, leave him, he's just a boy. Boys don't do such things. Our reactions and the way we bring up our sons matter to how they'll become in the future, the men that they will become. So today we're going to be talking about something very important. I'm going to be having a very beautiful conversation on raising boys to men. And I'm going to be having a wonderful woman in the studio with me. She's a registered public health nurse, a registered midwife, and a registered midwife educator. She has a BSc in health education, a bachelor degree in nursing science, a master's degree in health planning and management, and she's currently running a PhD program in health administration. Can you imagine that? She was formerly a lecturer and a VP of the State's School of Midwifery. Presently, she's the Director of Nursing Services, Hospitals Management Agency at those State. She's a Christian and happily married with 3 sons, and she's a grandmother. Wow. So we're going to be having today with us in the studio, we're going to be having a wonderful woman. And join me as I welcome Mrs. Mary of Agboniwa Igharo. Let's add that to the studio right away. We're going to be having her join us for a conversation. Hello, ma'am. You're welcome to the studio. Hello. How you doing, ma? Hello, Mrs. Igharo. Hello, ma. You're welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
How's your day, ma?
It's nice seeing you.
Yes, ma. Same here,
See you
ma.
after a long time.
Yes, ma. How's your day, ma?
Fine, thank you. I say it's nice seeing you after a
Yes, it's
long gap of almost 3 years now.
yes, ma. Yes, it's almost 3 years. It's a long time, ma. It's a long time. It's a long time, ma.
Fine, thank you.
I'm excited to have you today. Yes, ma'am. I'm excited to have you today for this conversation on raising
Yes.
boys to men. Yes. You are actually like, I think you should be like a mentor to many young women. You have actually raised men and you have raised them successfully. So you're like a mentor to many of us out there. So we're going to
It's
quickly,
by His grace.
wow, that's so nice. It's by the mercy of the Lord. So, but we're going to quickly
Grace is
start the
not.
conversation, or we're going to start it quickly. Um, First of all, there's this thing that happens in our society right now. A lot of focus is placed on the girl child. A lot of NGOs run programs for the girl child, trying to raise girls that are moral, that have good morals, that are responsible. But there's this imbalance. Nobody focuses on the boy child. And I really want to ask, do you think that focusing on the girl child has done good to us? Has it brought about improvement in our society, or there should be a balance? We should focus on the boy child and focus on the girl child.
But I think both children are very important
Yes,
in the society. It's a mixed society. You don't
yes,
have all girls there. It's both male and females. And the influence is from both sides. The male
yes.
can influence the girls, just as the girls can influence the males. So I think the focus should be on both. Should be on
That's true.
both
Very
children,
true.
both male or female.
Very true, ma. Very true, ma. I'm going to ask, do you think that raising boys, some people feel that raising boys is quite difficult compared to raising a girl child. Some people feel that it's way easier to raise a male child than a female child. Do you think it's true?
It's not true. They're all difficult. If your boy impregnates a girl, it's the same thing
Yes,
as somebody impregnating your daughter. So they are
very
both
true.
they are both difficult to raise.
Yes, yes, ma'am. I believe that all children are, they have their
The
own
only
each
difference is that
challenges.
the girl's own is obvious and that of the male is not obvious.
Okay, that's true. Okay, you can say that. Okay, you can say that, ma'am.
Yes,
Uh,
yes, they do.
yes. Okay. So now you have three sons. Why you were raising your sons? Did you have a picture in your mind like these are the kind of boys or these are the kind of men I want my sons to be? Or it was just like as the day go by, anything they become is fine. Do you have a picture, a specific picture in mind that I want my boys to become this kind of men?
The truth of the matter, when you start having children, you don't really determine sex. The sex comes in.
Yes.
And whatever God gives to you, He gives you the responsibility to nurture for them. I didn't really have a picture of what my children will be, but that they
Okay.
become somebody in life. That was my main concern. And personally, I give room for my children to take decisions with my
Mm-hmm.
guidance. So whatever they became today was their sole decision. We're only just
Okay.
there to guide them and to make the right choice in life. That's all.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. And the good thing is that they turned out great because I know they turned out great. Yes, I know they turned out
Yes,
great.
they
Okay.
do.
Now, when your boys were growing up, were there domestic chores you did not allow them to? You know, some mothers these days they feel that some boys cannot do some things in the house. The boys, no, they don't cook. No, the boys they don't sweep the floor. Were there domestic chores that your boys, your sons could not do? Or they could do everything. They could cook, they could mop the floor. Were there things they could not do?
The truth of the matter, I raised my children as children should be raised. I
Yes,
didn't have
ma'am.
a house help towards their adolescent period. But when they were kids, I had a house help who could
Okay.
assist. But even then, with the house help, we shared chores. You do this, you
Okay.
wash plates, you do that, your own is sweeping, and everybody knows their duty they do. By the time I didn't have a house help, they became my house help. The only guy in the house. So they have to work. They go to market. They cook.
Wow.
Ogbolo,
Wow.
goosey, name it. They have
Wow.
to.
Wow.
I'm not their house girl. I'm their mother, not their house girl.
True, ma. Very true. Very
So
true. Because
they do this. They go to market and buy things.
wow, very true, ma. Because some women have turned themselves to like the house helps of their sons. That we have boys in society that cannot do anything because they grew up that way. Their parents didn't teach them to be able to walk. While I was growing up, my brothers could do things in the house. My mom could actually leave my other brother with us, the younger ones, to take care of us. And I think it's the right approach in parenting because when these boys become husbands tomorrow, they can actually assist with household chores.
And,
They can help their
and
wives
cook and do things.
and cook
Yes.
and clean. Yes,
Yes.
so that the woman is not
I'll give you
overburdened.
a scenario.
Okay, ma.
Somebody gave me this goosey to break, the one they
Yes,
break.
ma.
Somebody gave it to me as a gift, and I called my
Okay.
boys. Egusi has come. What do we do? We usually buy the one they have broken, but this time
Okay.
around we need to break it, and I shared it for them. And then when my
Wow.
mom came, she said, no, boys can't do that. Oh, how will you tell boys
Ah.
to be breaking melon? You want them to be woman rapper? And I told her, These boys you are seeing here, they are not any woman rapper. They are only doing what they need to do to feed themselves. This soup, we need to
Yes.
make it. And then, if
Wow.
you don't want that, then you will take it, you go and break it and bring it. Otherwise, there's no house help here that will break it. And then she packed it and took it away to prevent my children from breaking the egusi. But to me, children should just do what they need to do as children, and parents do what they need to do as
True.
parents.
Very true. Very true. Because I think this has led to a lot of problems and the mindset of men towards women. And
Yes.
it's very clear. So I want to ask you this question. Was any of your sons maybe stubborn or is it rambunctious? And did you have any stubborn son? Because sometimes they say boys are very stubborn. Did you have anyone that was stubborn?
No, the thing is, my boys are such that if I say sit there, they sit
Wow.
there. But there was, okay, my last baby didn't know the nature of the house. And then we went out one day. And then somebody offered to give him a Coke. And I said, oh, sorry, he can't finish it. Already I've signaled the other ones. Once I signal, they know what I need. He didn't know. He said, no, I can finish it, mommy. He drank the Coke. When we got home, my first son bought Coke, 2 bottles, and asked him to finish it. So that next time he will learn to, read signals. Give them
True.
signals. If I don't want them to take something from you, when I blink my eye, they understand and they don't do it. They were not
Wow.
stubborn. They could code what I want. And the only thing is that the second one is the bookie type. He will go and pretend to be reading so that he will not walk. I will allow him read, but after reading, his work will still be waiting for him. And he will have to do it. If
Wow.
you are not strict, you will find that they will children read you. They will read you
True.
and look
True.
at how you are able to handle them. If you handle them well, yes, they will behave. But if you are let go, they will seize that opportunity and do that. I will allow him read quite all right. After reading, my dear, your plate is still waiting for you. You go and wash them. And that was how it was.
Wow, wow, that's right. I like the part of you saying that they understand signals. I think in this generation, children don't understand signals. Oh.
Yeah, yes,
You
yes.
see, you see mothers blinking their eyes, and the child is looking at them like and just doing what they like to do. It's a very good
Yeah,
when parents can communicate to their children without actually saying words. Yes, very wonderful thing.
it's computer age. It is computer age. Mother, father busy with computer, children busy with computer. So how can you speak with your eyes to your children?
Yes,
So it's difficult
yes.
to now speak with eyes to your children because we are so occupied with computer and all and forget to relate. Because for signals to be understood, you need to relate with the child before now.
Very important. Very important.
You
Very
must have
important.
spoken with them with eyes, even at home. They code. So that's only when you can use such signals. Mm.
Very true. I think families are beginning to lose out on the place of relationship because of gadgets, social media. So everybody is on the
Yeah.
phone, everybody's watching the TV. So there's really no relationship anymore between family members. We just stay in the same house and like strangers in the
Yes.
house, and it's very key. We must learn to relate, parents to children, children to children, and the rest. But for example, now, what do you have an advice for a mother now that may be watching and has a stubborn son? What can she do? The boy is really stubborn and does not listen.
Listen. The hello. The thing
I
is,
can hear you, ma.
if you have a stubborn child, thing
Yeah.
is communication. I
Okay.
don't think parents sit their children. down to talk with, to speak with them.
Okay.
You beat, you beat, you beat. It makes the child more stronger. Rather, you say, not be only beat.
Wow.
I said you need to communicate with the child.
Yes.
Communication is key in bringing up a stubborn child. But what most parents do is to beat the child. They take a
Yes.
cane, you flog the child because the child has refused to do something. By the time you keep flogging,
Okay, I think we lost that there. I think she'll be back soon. Talking about that, I think relationship between parents and children are is so important. Parents should be able to communicate to their children. Children should be able to communicate to their parents. Most parents want to be like the parent that children can speak with at all times. But we find out that now in present day and time, children don't really have, will I say, access to their parents because parents have not created room for that. Some parents want to be the parents, the accessible parents, that they can ask them anything, but they have not made themselves available. I think she's back. Okay, Ma, you back?
okay, I'm back now. Yes, I'm
Yes, ma'am.
back now.
Yes, ma'am.
I said we need to communicate. By the time you keep flogging a child, the
Yes.
child will just say the highest you will do is to flog me. But if you sit down, you communicate with them. Like when I was raising my children, I don't beat my children. We sit
Wow.
down, we discuss. If they do
Wow.
something wrong, I'll tell them, this thing you have done, where did you go wrong? Mommy, I know I'm wrong in this. Sorry, next time I won't do it. No,
Wow.
you have to still reason with them. There may be a reason too, the child has done that. But we don't have patience to even listen to our kids. Why did you do this? The next thing is flogging and flogging. Ah, And at the end of the day, you are losing and creating a gap between you and your child. And once that gap is wider, someone comes in who will educate them, who will be willing to mentor them, and they tend to listen to that one more than they will do you. So as much as possible, parents need to sit with their children, discuss with them, and in the process, what they actually need, what their feelings, and you won't want to hurt them. That is the
Yeah.
way. But flogging and flogging does not. Like myself and my husband, we don't beat our children. We discuss. We have a chat with them.
Wow. And they turned out into great men. Some people don't believe that if you don't flog children, they'll turn out well.
Oh,
They don't believe.
no,
Wow.
no, no.
And their voice.
I don't
This is
flog.
amazing.
They are
This is
boys.
amazing. This is amazing. It's
They
amazing.
are
Someone
boys
said,
and
yes.
professionals.
Wow. Someone said something. I was listening to
They are
someone that
professionals.
I can imagine. I was listening to someone that is like a mentor on this parenting, and he said something that for those people that really want to flog your children, before you flog your child, you have to consider what you're flogging your child for. Have you taught the child about that thing? Have the child been able to assimilate what you have taught the child? Is there a better way to discipline a child than flogging a child? Because most times we rush to flogging. Does flogging really yield the results we desire? As in, can we really say that you have flogged a child? Does it produce the necessary results? Does it really groom that child? Or do we actually just punish our children and inflict pain on them? So I'm really amazed that you raised three wonderful men who are professionals without flogging them. It's amazing. It's really amazing. For how many years? Wow. So I think we have learned something from you today, Mom. Yes, we have to put that into practice. We have to
Thank you.
discuss with our children and talk to them. Now I'm going to ask. There's this age in
Yeah,
children.
it's
We call it,
important to discuss.
yes. There's this age. They call them, like, some people say they are terrific two, or some people say they are the terrible two when they are 2 years old. How did you know your sons when they were 2? Because at
Mm.
2, most children don't listen. They are restless. They don't stay in one place. They just want to do what's in their mind. How did you raise your children, your sons, when they were 2 years old? How was it? How were you able to raise them at that point? And you did not get angry and you flogged them.
Remember, I'm a nurse.
Yes.
Remember, I'm a nurse, and as a nurse, I know at that age they are inquisitive. It's not that they are stubborn or they are terrible. It's
Okay.
just inquisitive. They want to know what is in that environment, and they pick it and try to dismantle it. And all. I had a boy; he would dismantle whatever electronics and refuse on his own. So it's normal. But what you do at that age, those things that are destructive, you remove them from the way. Teach them
Okay.
to operate those electronics. If
Wow.
you don't go away from there. No, the child will go there. You
Back
want to
there.
put it on? Okay, this is how to on it. And then you teach the child. Oh yeah, try it, the child. And that child will not destroy that thing again because he knows how to operate that machinery. But by the time we are just busy, uh, you know, just busy, frightening them away. They want to know what is there. They want to know more about it.
Wow, that's really true. That's really true. I think that would be helpful to a lot of persons watching, because at the age of 2 is really a lot of work. A lot of work. Now talking about values, what values do you think parents
And
should?
then, as much as possible, you need toys. At that age, they need
Okay,
toys. They need toys. Toys that are educational, toys that will bring them up. I never bought a gun for my children. They were boys. And people say, guns have no, don't.
wow, wow, that's true. That's very key. The kind of toys we buy for our children. The fact that they need to have toys doesn't mean we should buy just any toy for them. Educational toys can help build their mind and improve their brain functioning and make them to be more creative. So even as much as we buy toys, let's buy educational toys and toys that help them to be more creative. That's a very good point, Ma. Thank you so much. Now I want to go to values. What values do you think parents should inculcate in their sons to make them responsible men? What values?
Well, one of the greatest value you can leave to a child is you as a parent living by example of
What
the
is?
value you believe in. Like I tell people, if you don't want to, if you say don't lie, then you don't lie.
Very
If you
true.
say don't steal, then you don't steal. If you say dress properly, then you dress properly as a parent. That way, the children will know what you value in life and stick to it.
Okay, very true.
You
Very true.
know,
Um,
and
that
I also believe that they should believe in themselves, believe in what you can achieve. Like we always tell my children, I say, remember you are an Igharo, and Igharo will never fail. And that's it.
wow,
And
wow,
that's
wow,
let them through.
wow. Having a culture, a family culture, things that your family stands for, things that your family believes in. So you transfer it to your children. I like the part of example, living by example. Because I believe that most of the men in society that a lot of people complain about, the parents modeled a life, a kind of life, and they picked it and they live it out. So parents must be very deliberate or must be intentional in the life they model to their children, because somehow children live out what they see. And it's very difficult to change the perception a child has for a particular role. Okay, this is the way my father used to do it, so this is the way a husband should behave. Or this is the way my mom
Yeah.
used to, this is the way a woman should behave. So modeling is key, very key. I think values have been thrown away a lot in this generation. I think it really has to come back. Parents must learn to teach values to their children. Integrity, excellence is very key. And not just teaching them, like you said, leave it so that they will copy you. Don't do as I say and not do as I do. If you will do as I do, I do as I say. So it's very key. It's very key. Very key. So, in raising your sons, yourself and your husband, was there a point people agreed that this is the particular way we're going to raise our sons? Was there an agreement? Because most times you find out in some homes that the mom has a concept on how to raise the children, the father has a concept on how to raise the children. So was there like an agreement, or should there be an agreement between a father and a mother on how to raise their sons? Should there be a consensus in the family?
We didn't really have a consensus on how we will raise our children. But my husband has that belief that let the children be what they want to be.
Okay.
We just guide, lead them through. If they are going towards a path we don't like, I'll give a scenario. My son wrote a book and wanted to even publish it. My husband felt, oh, that shouldn't be the line he should toe. And then promised him, don't worry, we'll publish it, just keep writing while you face the course you want to do. And in the process, we kind of removed his mind from that literature he was trying to pursue at that time. So there's not really clear-cut way of this is how we should raise our children. No.
Wow. That's fine. That's fine. I like the part that you give expression to them. So it's not like you cage your children and like this is exactly how or this is exactly who you should be. So every child is different. So every child is giving expression. I like that part. Allow them be who they should be. So parents, someone said
Yes.
children are like gifts to parents, and no parent own a child. So we are not the owners of the children. We are like custodians. So we're to guard them and guide them to fulfill purpose. And every child has a unique purpose. So it's very key, very key. Now, in the days of so much violence in homes, violence meted upon women by maybe men or husbands upon wives, do you think that probably in their growing up days, some of all these things would have been averted? Maybe there were signs that a child or a boy would be violent, or maybe the way the child was brought up. Do you think that a man that is violent today, in his growing up days, that attribute would have been averted by the parents?
Yes, it can. You see, I'll give a scenario. You know, my boys, they like to fight with one another, and I call them cat and rats in terms of their quarreling. But at every point in time, I will let the senior know it's your junior. You have to take care of your junior brother. And it's your senior. You have to respect your senior brother. And in that process, they now lived as one. Even in their university days, they were in the same hostel and learning to live as one. So when we see children fighting and quarreling at an early stage, and we tend to support one and leave the other, we make the quarrel bigger and bigger and bigger, which will later evolve to be a great enmity between siblings. And by the time siblings have enmity, it computes to the entire world at the end of the day. If you look at Nigeria, we are all one. But at the end, you see this one quarreling with this other part because we have not learned to live as one. So as children, they should learn to live as one, learn to give. I could give something to this, I'll say, give it to your brother. It's just a way of letting him let go what was given to him, to his brother. And in that process, they are learning to give to one another and live as one.
Yeah, that's really true. Sibling rivalry is, I think, it's one of the biggest problems in families when parents support
Hello?
one child over the other. It's a big issue. So parents must be able to not show favoritism in the home because it causes a lot of problems. It causes a lot of problems. Now, when raising your sons, an easy journey? Was it an easy journey raising your boys? Does it become easier by the day as they grow? Does it become easier?
It was, hey, I'm still raising them. Oh. So it's not that it's completely over. Because until they are strong, 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 you are still there to guide.
Yes, yes.
It's the truth. You still there. Though they are big married now with children, you still are involved in the raising of the those same children that we are talking about.
Wow.
Well, raising them wasn't easy. The first sister, my husband was not with me. He was in the east. I was in Benin. But each weekend he comes, that is when he's a part of the family. So I had to actually kind of raise them alone. But I can't say alone because every day we must call daddy. And daddy will put it, there's problem, I will tell daddy. And daddy will call and advise and all those things. And so it wasn't easy raising them as boys. But in all, I think God was on my side.
Wow.
And somehow I don't, when people discipline my children, I don't quarrel with it at all. Even in the school when they are disciplined, I don't go to their school. Why did you flog this child? Why? No, 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 no. There was a day my boy came and my teacher flogged me, even when my mother has never flogged me. I said, why did your teacher flog you? What did you do? And I said, okay, that thing you did, was it right? He said, man, but she should have spoken to me. I said, no, people have different way of bringing up a child. That's our own way of disciplining you. Next time, don't try it. And that was it. So, but
Wow.
some parents nowadays will march to the school and quarrel and raise down the school.
Yes.
Raising children is a joint effort. It's not it's not your sole effort, it's joint.
True. Very true. Very true. I think those days someone said something that those some years back. A child is everybody's child. So when you have a child, but the child is everybody's child. So
Exactly.
everybody had the right to correct your child. But I think those days are fast eroding because these days you talk to somebody's child or correct the child, and the mom or the parent is angry. Why are you talking to my child? Is it your child and the rest? But I think we cannot leave out community, as in we are communion beings. So you cannot leave out parenting. Teachers will do their job, parents will do their job, even though parents have a major role in raising their children. And it's very key, it's very key. So I'm going to ask some question about teenage youth. Now, when boys are teenagers, most times they like to explore this teenage exuberance and the rest. How did you cope when your boys were teenagers? How did you cope? Okay, I think we've lost her there. I think we've lost the network. Yes, she was talking about parents understanding that everybody has a role in raising your child, and that is, I think, that's one reason why we send our children to school, because when they get to school, the teachers also do their own job. Very few persons homeschool their children here. The teachers has a way of building the brain of your child, teaching them everything that's the academics and the rest. So as parents, you do your part, and maybe when they get to school, the teachers they do their part. And it's very key that we understand this thing so that everybody can work together in synergy, and nobody is left out, or nobody is feeling bad, or nobody is hurt in the process. I do not succumb to teachers, in quotes, discipline children to the point that they inflict injury on them. But I do also succumb to the part of parents, maybe let's say overdoing it when at a little thing, maybe your child goes late to school and your child is reprimanded, or and you run to school and take action or the rest. We do not expect teachers to inflict injuries on children, and we expect parents to still to understand also that the school has a role in grooming your child. So it's very key that we teach our sons responsibility, we teach our sons respect, we teach our sons values that are key. Okay, I think she's back. You're back, ma.
Yes, I'm back.
Yes, you're back,
I'm
ma.
back now.
Yes, 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 ma. So, teenage. How did you cope with your children when they were teenagers? And what advice do
Sorry,
you have
I
to?
think it's the network that is fluctuating.
Yes, yes, the network, ma. Okay, ma.
Okay.
How did you cope with your
Yes,
sons
I
when they were
can hear you.
teenagers? How did you cope with your sons when they were teenagers? And what advice do you have to parents out there that have teenage sons now? Because there's a lot in the society now. How do they cope?
Like I would say, it's just God. Well, as my children were growing up, they grew up as Christians, and in my church, they were really involved in most of the church activities. So that kind of helped me in raising them as teenagers, because they were youth leaders, this, and so they end up going to church for one program or the other. Yeah. And then when they have things, when they became uh, full blown teenagers, I bought some books for them to read and all those things. But funny enough, before I would even bring out the book for their age, they would have read it. There was one book as a, for the growing boys, and I told my son, you need to read this book. Oh, it's very important. Ace is read. He said, Mommy, I've read that book. And in fact, told me the entire story of in that book. So I just said, okay, now that you have read it, please, as much as possible, 83. If you must meet a girl, use condom. This is say, mommy, you that is a Christian that is telling me this. I say, I have to guide against, boys. Maybe somebody else is talking to you somewhere now. And they said, Mommy, don't worry, we are Christians. We won't be involved in that. And so I just left them to God. God did that for me.
Wow.
God did.
That's really nice. I like the part of
God did,
giving
because they
books.
are free with God, they are free with God.
Wow.
And, uh, I try to know their friends too. You
Hmm.
must know their friends
Very key.
that you move with. I invite them to the house, they come to the house. In fact, my children hardly go to people's houses. It's the people that come to my house. So they
Wow.
come play with my children. So I'm able to monitor whatever they do. That's what
Wow.
I did.
That's really nice. I like the points of giving them books. Um, Parents should encourage their children to read. It builds the brain. It helps them to know
Yes.
things. It increases their knowledge base. We find out in society with the advent of gadgets, social media, it's like books are almost going to extinction. Children don't really read books anymore. And even though we have gadgets, we can actually download books and children can actually read these books. But now we find out that parents don't encourage their children to read books anymore. What they're actually doing online, maybe
Yes.
they're chatting with their friends, posting this on social media and the rest. But books are key. So we never stop learning. We never stop learning. And I think parents should encourage their children, their sons, to read because tomorrow they're going to have children. What are they going to pass on to their children? Then the part of knowing the friends of your sons is very important so that you know the
Okay.
circle of influence in their life. Who is influencing them?
Exactly.
Because friends must influence friends. There is no way. So a parent cannot say, okay, whatever they do outside, let them bring their friends home. Some parents are so strict that their children's friends cannot come to their house. I don't think it's so advisable.
The
Let their
children go
friends come.
to those ones' houses. No, they come to my house. I get
Wow.
to study them. I will cook and we all eat together. So they are like
Wow.
part of the family.
The
There's
family.
a way of knowing who they are.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and then I mentor all.
That's very important. Know your son's friends. They become part of it, and you mentor them aright, so they can negatively
Yeah,
influence your son. And I think that's one thing that's happening in
Ali.
society. Boys, our sons have wrong influences, and the parents are not even aware. That maybe, for example, your sons have friends that take drugs. You're not aware because you have never met your son's friends, or your son's friends are into frauds, and you're
Exactly.
not aware because you've never met your son's friends. Let's get to the point that we know the friends of our children. It will help us to be able to raise them properly. So I don't think there's no child that does not have a friend. Even if they are not so friendly,
Yeah,
they
they
must have
must.
one
They even
friend.
have female.
Yes, they must have a friend. Parents should know their children's friends. Know your son's friends. It will help you manage and guide their lives properly. I think that's the very paramount and important point. I've been so enlightened today. I've
And
learned
even
a lot
girlfriends.
from. Yes, yes. This, yes, yes, yes. Both boys have both male and female friends. It's very important. Yeah, they must have female friends. So parents should know the friends of their children. I've learned a lot today. I've learned so much. I believe that if parents go ahead and take some deliberate steps in parenting their children, we have better men in society. We have better men. Give more attention to your sons. As in, do some things. Read books. Parents should read books. As in, get knowledge on how to raise your sons. Let's not cross our hands and say, okay, this is the way it has always been. We follow this pattern. We're in a new generation. Things have changed. So the way you raise your boys like 20 years ago may not necessarily apply this in this generation. So parents should be deliberate. There should be intentionality in raising children. Mrs. Igharo, we have
Now,
been so enlightened. We have been so enlightened. I'm so enlightened. I'm so grateful for you coming into the studio today and sharing part of your life with us, sharing things that you did to have three men that
thank you.
are responsible and that are professionals today. We are grateful. School of Parenting is grateful to you. Thank you so much, Ma. We have learned a lot from you. Yes. What you have gained in all these years, we're coming behind. We get there. We'll get there. Thank you so much, Ma. I want you to say something to the parents out there.
Thank you.
So, yes, so some parents are already discouraged because of the boys they have for children. They've tried all they could, they've done all they can, and it looks like the boys are still not becoming responsible. I want you to just give like a word of advice to them. Just say what to them. Just say what to
To, to the boys. To the boys.
Wow, the network is fluctuating. I believe I've been learning a lot. I believe we've been picking points. And most of the things she says still applies to the girl child. So I believe there's nothing like being intentional in raising children. Nothing like let's not go about the attitude like, okay, I'm gonna do my best. Well, the way they turn out is left for the way they turn out. Let's be intentional with the way we raise our children. There should be intentionality. When people set out to achieve a goal, they put all their best into it and they achieve it. Let's treat parenting with our maximum effort. Let's put everything into it. I think she's back. She's back.
I'm back now.
Okay, ma, you're back. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, your word, ma, to those parents.
Okay, you said a word for the boys.
Yes,
Yes.
and for the parents that feel
Well,
that,
for boys growing up,
okay,
everybody who have all boys, well, the parents who have all boys treat the children as children, not specially as boys. For those who also have boys, treat them as children. There are roles for children, there are roles for parents. So if everyone does his or her roles, I think the society will be a better place.
yes, I like that part. There are rules for children, there are rules for parents. Let's not swap rules. Let parents be parents and let children be children. Thank you so much, Mal. We're grateful.
Okay.
Thank you so much. We have learned a lot. Thank you so much. I believe that I believe that everybody has learned something today. Thank you so much, Mr. Gary. We're excited, and I believe that we all have learned something today. We have gained something out of this conversation today. We have picked a point or two that I think will be beneficial in our parenting of our boys. I envisage a society where we have more responsible men, where we have men that will be proud of, fathers that our sons can look up to, our daughters can look up to, and be proud that that's my dad. I believe we're going to be having such societies, but it has to be done, or it's based on the intentionality of parenting. Let's parent our children right. Let's be deliberate in raising our boys so that we have more responsible men. If you have a child, then you have the ability and capability to raise that child. So the society will be a better place because you as a parent, you were intentional in raising your child. You were intentional in raising your son into a man. So we look forward to more conversations on this platform. This is School of Parenting. I am Kitty Ahmed, the convener of School of Parenting. It has been nice having this conversation. I believe we've learned a thing or two. So we'll keep discussing. Have a blessed evening. Bye.